Hi, my name's Herbie Fletcher, and I just got out of the water to watch Rebel TV.
In California, surfing inspires a lot of people to create music, and in no other sport is music so influential, no matter what era or what style. There is no other sport that has ever invented its own music. In addition to 100 years of California beach culture, we want to give you a closer look at the surf music from California and the journey of these parallel phenomenons. Mentioning surfing and music in the same sentence conjured up images of the early 60s. Denny Aberg, co-writer of the Hollywood surf film Big Wednesday, who has seen, surfed, and played it all, is a keeper of the flame of all music that swept along the beach.
You know, music is a reflection of the times. Before the Beach Boys was Dick Dale and the Dale Tones that did like Pipeline and Wipeout, all those kind of. They were supposed to evoke the moods of surfing, you know, but they really didn't surf, you know.
You know, when I grew up in Huntington, the Golden Bear was a little rock and roll blues place across the street, but there'd be, you know, Janis Joplin would come there, and all these people would come there. They'd come over to the beach and hang out.
Through the hippie era, you know, music got louder, you know, and more amps and more spacey stuff, you know, kind of. Backyard Band Farm does some kind of spacey stuff. It was part of the times, you know. The hippie era was real light shows and craziness, you know. In the 70s, things mellowed out. You know, some people went acoustic, you know, and almost folk singing.
So most artists have this fascination to watch surfing because it's just like a moving dance. You know, you're riding on this wave dancing.
And so beach culture swept over to musicians like Ben Harper, but also vice versa to people like Jack Johnson, who had a metamorphosis from a surfer to international music headliner.
Sitting out in the water, you just subconsciously start singing a melody when you're surfing. It just sort of goes with it, the rhythm. And so I came up with a lot of the songs out there.
Whatever was going on at the time, everybody just absorbed it. And Donovan Frankenreiter, one of the most acclaimed free surfers in the world, just picked up a guitar to master riding a different sort of wave.
It's like music, when you hear it, you can feel it. And it's the same thing with surfing. You hear all these different sounds and these different things happen, and so many emotions go through you when you surf.
Music is universal. It speaks to everybody, and you know, even more so than surfing does. You can't have a surf movie without music. You know, you can have music without surfing, but you can't have it the other way around. So.
Kelly himself experienced the music business in the 90s with pro surfers Peter Mel and Rob Machado in a band called The Surfers, proving that rock included shortboard surfing too.
Yeah, The Surfers was fun. It was kind of crazy because at the time, Kelly had just beat me for a world title, and you know, we were friends, but we were kind of really competitive, but we're in the same band together, and it was really hard. We're traveling around the world. Our main focus is surfing, pro surfing. So all of a sudden be like, oh, we have to go do this tour, you know, for music, and we're gonna go for 2 weeks and tour these places, and it was like, wow, that's kind of a lot.
So come on down.
Alex Knost was able to close that gap. His innovative style in longboarding next to his life as an artist and musician transcended his vision into a lifestyle.
I like the culture that comes along with surfing, not just the idea of a wave breaking, you know? When things are totally perfect, they're kind of boring. To me, I like the imperfection I like following and surfing in our music, you know, sometimes like a guitar's out of tune or something. I think that's cool. People have been perfecting things for so long that I think they forgot to look at like the imperfections of something that's important or interesting.
With Tom Curran, one of the era's most influential surf stars, the music-surf connection no longer seemed merely academic, it was all hands-on. Surfing is really a phenomenon in subculture. It has its own music, its own feeling and lifestyle, it has its own fashion, its own kind of creativity and art, speaking of which we'll have a closer look at in our next show. Till then, see ya and enjoy the waves.